Building reading fluency that actually supports comprehension doesn't have to be difficult, and it should be starting at the sentence level. Today, we're going to show you exactly how to do that. Hey there, I'm Corey with Ascend Smarter Intervention, where we make research-based reading instruction easy and accessible. And you want to make sure to hit subscribe if you don't want to miss any of our tips, tricks, and strategies to making sure that your students are getting everything they need and are truly skyrocketing their literacy growth.
When we're working on building reading fluency, what we want to do is we want to start at the sentence level. We want to make sure that if we're working on building fluency, that we've been working through a systematic progression of teaching specific concepts. So, for example, if we were working on teaching the suffix and in this case, what we want students to do is we want them to find these patterns in the sentences that they're going to be reading. So this is going to be an orthographic fluency, where we want them to be quickly finding the patterns that we are explicitly teaching. Once we've gone through and found the specific patterns, we want students to practice decoding each word individually. If there are any words that they can't decode, what we want them to do is we want them to be able to recognize that they are having a hard time, and we want them to circle it. So for example, if they hadn't yet learned that G says J when it has an E, I, or Y after it, they might circle this word. And so when they circle these words, we want them to recognize that's okay, that's perfect, and then we want to provide those words for them so that when they're working on building their fluency, they're not also working on decoding. When they are working on decoding, we want them to be focusing on each word individually. As we start building fluency, we want them to start chunking words together. When we're thinking about chunking words together, we want students to be reading fluently in order to support comprehension. So in this case, what we want to do is we want to have them read the subject, or who or what the sentence is about, as a chunk. So once they've practiced decoding this, we're going to want them to put this chunk together. Then after they've put that subject together, we're going to have them go ahead and put the predicate, or did what, together. This is a big chunk, so definitely you can kind of break this up a little bit. We could even break it just into was and where were they? They were on the grand stage. But what we're going to want students to do is we're going to want them to read that subject as a chunk and that predicate as a chunk. And so we're really scooping or kind of underlining these sentences. So in this case, they would have the actor. What did the actor do? Was on the grand stage. The actor was on the grand stage. So as I'm cueing this, after students have started to kind of find that who or what did what, I'm going to cue them. So after they've decoded each of those, I'll say, who or what? My doctor. What did your doctor do? Said that I was quite ill. Great. Same thing. Let's go ahead and find our who or what. Did what? Why, when, how, where? You can grab each of those different pieces, and those are each just different chunks that we're going to use to build fluency. So after the students decoded, then we're going to go through and we're going to say who? The vendor. Did what? Was selling. What were they selling? A lot of candy. And so students should start recognizing that as a chunk. The vendor was selling a lot of candy. And when they can start to do that, you're starting to build fluency, and you're moving away from decoding each word individually and starting to put that together. The great thing here is that this is also building comprehension. We want to make sure that we're not just reading to read fast, but that we're reading to build comprehension. So this is one of the best strategies that you can use to support fluency and comprehension at the same time.